My partner's one-time mistake and not giving him a second chance. I, F, 26, met my partner, M, 39, 6 years ago when I first moved to Canada from Germany. We moved in together within 1 year. We work in different fields but we make about the same amount annually. I found out I got pregnant in July. When I told him, he got frustrated. I told him that I repeatedly reminded him about medication interactions and DR advised using condoms while I'm on this medication and he refused. Eventually he said he is happy to be a dad and supports me. We got invited to a destination wedding in Mexico, his friend's wedding. I told him my doctor advised me not to travel as I have been very sick lately, hospitalized a few times, so I can't go. He got upset and said he really wanted to go. I got tired of hearing his grumpiness, so I said I would be fine, it's just a week so it's okay, just go. I talked to his mom and she said she would drive me to the hospital again if I need to while he will be away. Wedding was last Tuesday, he left on Saturday evening. He sent some pictures to me on the day. He said he missed me and how he wished I was there, which I said hopefully we can do more trips when the baby is here. Then he was quiet on Wednesday. I got worried so I texted his friend. He replied, "Oh. Yeah, he is fine. I'll tell him to text you." Still nothing. On Friday evening, so last night, he called me. I asked him what was going on. I was worrying sick. He asked how I was doing. If I needed help. I said I'm good, luckily no, I have been fine. He then said he needed to talk to me. He made a horrible drunken mistake. He hooked up with one of the bridesmaids, bride's sister, and brought her to his room. But in the morning he realized what a fool he was, so he told her to leave. He said, I made a mistake, but you have to realize if you were with me this wouldn't have happened. I was drunk and lonely. It was one-time thing and meant nothing. I felt like my brain was frozen. I said, and you ghosted me for days and tell me now? Were you busy with her all this time? He said no, I needed time to think. I was ashamed. I told him don't bother coming home. Stay with her or your mom until I find a place, then I don't want to ever see you again. He said I'm being selfish, hormonal and overreacting to one mistake. He said he took responsibility, owned his mistake and will do anything to prove it to me. Am I overrating for not even considering this for the sake of the baby? My best friend says we should try counseling and give him one last chance, but I'm just so upset I can't even think. Thank you for your advice. Comments. Writing romance too. He was 100% shacked up with this woman the whole time he was ghosting you. He's lying. OOP, that's how I feel because he didn't even acknowledge me until Friday. Writing romance too. I would reach out to the friend you talked to, tell him you know about the bride's sister and you're just confirming the details. That guy knows what happened. ETA, the reason I say he shacked up with her is that a guy with this level of maturity would argue to himself, well, since I already fucked her, what's the harm? OOP, I thought about it, then my friend said this would make me look like a crazy person. Is it crossing the boundary if I do that? Writing romance too. I guess I would approach it something like, hey, I've spoken with my partner about what happened in Mexico with the bride's sister. I just want to make sure I have the full story. He spent the rest of the week with her? Keep it somewhat vague and non-accusatory, and yes, it's a white lie, but it can help bring truth. However, also ask yourself the question of whether you even want to know. Would it change your decision to leave him? Also, I miss that this man is almost 40. If he can't have a drink without ending up falling in another woman's vagina, then you've got way bigger problems. OOP, I just texted him that. Hopefully he will tell me the truth instead of covering up for him. Realistic_regret_180. If he answers quickly, it will maybe be the truth. If he takes a little time to respond, he is checking with your so before he answers. OOP, he never replied back. I think he blocked me. Realistic_regret_180. So the friend didn't reply back. He has been shacked up with her then. OOP, all his friends unfriended me on FB and Instagram. I messaged the bridesmaid he had sex with and now she blocked me. I wasn't being rude. I told her that Kyle told me about your hookup. I'm wondering if you can please share if it was a one-time thing or more. She blocked me. I'm done reaching out for truth. I'm gonna pack my stuff, whatever I can fit in 2 luggage, and go back before he comes back. I'm very emotional now. I can't wait to go back to my family. Update 1 day later. As many of you suggested, I sent a quick message to his friend and the bridesmaid he slept with. I told them that Kyle had admitted about his hookup and says it was a one-time thing, but I'm wondering if there is more to the story that you like to share. They both blocked me. Then all his friends blocked me on social media. Last night, late, he sent me a message, I think he was drunk, that I'm an unhinged lunatic. He did the right thing and owned his mistake and confessed to me, yet I acted like a crazy cunt and harassed his friends and their family. He meant the bridesmaid. He said I'm so insecure it's pathetic. He said we are done and he wants me out of his house immediately. He didn't even once mention the baby. I decided not to bother replying. I had no energy and was crying all day. I'm moving back to my family, I decided last night, early morning tomorrow. My family is happy that I'm moving back, especially my mother. I don't think I'll say goodbye to his mom. I am not ready to talk to him and she will make him do that. Thank you again for all your comments. Bomb Adelaide. It sounds like you've made a strong decision for your well-being, and moving back to your family is a positive step toward healing. OOP, I was awake all night packing and crying. I feel very hurt and heartbroken. Aggravating _style 544. It's easy for someone else to say, but don't feel too bad about out losing him. He sounds like a terrible person and would likely have been a terrible father to your child. He has already established he is a terrible partner to you. You are accomplished and are going back to people who love you and can raise your baby in peace without his influence. Update 1 day later. Hi, I'm sitting in the airport waiting for my flight, so I thought I'd write one last update. I messaged his mom and told her what happened. I was shocked when she called back immediately and was furious with me. She said I have some nerve twisting the story to covering my cheating ass. I told her I don't understand what she was talking about. Apparently he told everyone including his mom that he checked my social media, he had all my passwords, but I never asked any of his. I have changed them all now, and found out I was having an affair with a coworker and was trying to trick him to raise my affair baby. I told her most of my team work virtually, so this makes no sense. I also have maybe 25 followers on my Instagram and most of them are my family from back home. I also have a rule to never add any of my coworkers on social media because I rather keep my personal life and professional life separate. She said her son found out when he was alone in Mexico and now he is heartbroken. Then went on and on about how could I do that to him and stuff. I kept explaining but she wasn't listening. I was so upset I told her that I'm done arguing and hung up. I'm done with this man and his lies. He just makes up lies and blames me for it. I can't do this anymore. I submitted time off to my boss, she is amazing, and will be settling for the next few weeks. Looking forward to the new chapter of my life without him. Comments. Funtivity _director. Holy smokes! I'm so sorry. The trash took itself out. These people are toxic. Save yourself. OOP, I was gonna tell his mom I'll gladly do a DNA test when the baby is born just to prove that I have never cheated, then I realized she doesn't want to listen to me. What's the point? Funtivity _director. Think about that once you get some time and space. If you decide to establish paternity, hire legal counsel. Child support is the right of the child. Knowing that, everything can go through the courts. You don't have to engage his mother on this topic. If he pushes for paternity, you may not have a choice. Either way. Take time. Build your support circle. Be safe and peaceful for you and your baby. Think about what you want and what your child will need. Then determine what to do. I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers. Hell _the_Deidre. I'm glad you are going home to your family. A real support network will help you get through this. I'm sorry you had to deal with that liar, but you'll be better off away from him. I'm not sure how child support works internationally. I hope you can get him to pay for his child, he can't lie away DNA. OOP, I was wondering why last time he told me to GTFO of his place immediately. Didn't even ask about the baby or what will happen when the baby is born. That explains everything. He told everyone that apparently baby is not his, sticking to his made-up story. Second story. My husband is planning to go on a dinner date with a long-term ex. My husband, Jack, M, 36, used to date Emma, F, 34, for years. They broke up because Jack didn't want to get married or have kids. Emma moved away, and about a month later, Jack met me, F, 30. I don't look like the typical girls Jack had been dating. For example, Emma is super tall, blonde with blue eyes, and has a PhD. I'm petite, 110 pounds and short, I'm a nurse, I have dark curly hair, and I'm an introvert. Apparently, she was a social butterfly. Jack has a group of friends that he's known since childhood. They are like brothers to him, but from the very beginning, they didn't like me. They still call me the rebound girl. At our wedding, during his best man speech, he joked, "We all thought rebound girls were temporary, but our brother Jack made an honest woman out of her." Everyone laughed, I didn't. They also joke that I'm just a nurse and that Jack downgraded, since he has a PhD, technically postdoctoral, from a doctor to just a nurse. For my own sanity, I ignore them, and Jack still hangs out with them regularly. Last weekend, there was a fundraising gala, and Emma was there. I saw her for the first time in person. Jack introduced me, and Emma said, "Yeah, I know who she is." The guys weren't kidding when they described her, haha. Jack quickly changed the topic and asked how long she was in town. She said for a week, and then they ended up chatting all night, reminiscing about old times. I decided to talk to other people. Later, at bedtime, Jack mentioned that he should go out to dinner with Emma. I assumed he meant inviting her over, so I asked what kind of food she likes so I could make it. He said no, it would just be the two of them. I asked, like a date, and he replied, "No, just two friends going to dinner." Why are you so insecure? I asked him, "Do you miss her? Do you miss being with her?" He said, "I'm not going to lie, it felt great talking to her tonight. There's just something about her." I got really upset and told him he can do whatever he wants, but if he goes on this dinner date, I'm done. He thinks I'm overreacting and being insecure. Ada that my husband is planning to go on a dinner date with a long-term ex. Update. It's 4:45 a.m. and I didn't sleep last night. I thought I'd post an update. I decided to stay awake and talk to him when he came home. When he did, I told him I could have tracked your location, shown up at the restaurant, and done so many things to get my answer. But I'd like to believe you have enough respect for me to tell me. Were you on a dinner date with your friends or Emma? He showed me pictures and said, "No, it was all of us, me, my friends, and Emma." I was stupid enough to feel relieved, even feeling bad for accusing him. Then he told me to sit down because we needed to talk. He said that after seeing Emma at the gala, he couldn't stop thinking about her. He decided to take Monday and Tuesday, yesterday, off and spent the whole day with her, while I assumed he was at work. He went on about how strong their connection was, how they couldn't stop talking, and how much he enjoyed being with her. He told me I'm a sweet woman, but he never felt that spark with me. He said that at dinner, Emma was laughing and having fun with everyone, and it felt like old times, compared to me being quiet and uncomfortable around his friends. He said it's best if we go our separate ways. I asked him if they had sex, and he didn't reply. I asked again and again, but he still wouldn't answer. I was so upset and asked, "Why did you marry me if you're not over her?" He said he thought I was the one, but these past 2 days made him realize there's no spark between us. He kept going on about how sweet I am and that I'll find someone too. I told him to shut up. I said, "Emma knew about your cancer treatments, where was she when you needed a friend? Why didn't she ever call you back then?" He went quiet. I feel stupid for ignoring all the red flags over the years and wasting 6 years of my life with him. My next step is hiring a lawyer and finding my own place. I feel so numb right now. I'm going to contact my brother to help me. Thank you, everyone.